Man, we gonna wait for y'all to storm in, man. I'm gonna talk to y'all for a little bit. Man. We gotta talk about this shit. I'm definitely making a video on this tonight, y'all. Just tune in. Tune in, man. Where my live viewers at? Man? We gotta talk about this post-fight reaction. We gotta talk about the show, man. I told y'all, man, gracefully. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all with grace. I think I made it. I think I made it evidently clear what was gonna happen before it happened. I'm surprised Jake ain't knock him out. That's because Jake was low key taking his foot off the gas. I think he could have. I think he definitely could have. I think Jake definitely could have embarrassed Mike if he really wanted to do that. But I think Jake, at some point in that fight, he felt bad. I ain't gonna lie. If you look after round 4 or 5, Jake started to feel bad, man. I could see it in his demeanor. He didn't even look like he really wanted to well on Mike. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, I know boxing fans was entertained by that shit, man. But at the end of the day, we got to call it what it is, man. I said it going into the fight. Mike Tyson hasn't fought in 5 years. He's 60 years old. What are people expecting out of Mike? You know, I said it. I said I will be proud of Mike if he can just somehow go the distance, go the whole fight, and he did. So I'm very proud of Mike, being his age, being able that he was able to go the distance, and in the first few rounds, he actually landed a couple times on Jake, and it was very entertaining the first couple rounds, and then as Jake started to use his strategy, box, move around, the fight got boring. The fight got really boring. By round 4, the fight was completely boring. It was actually the worst fight of the night. I'm not even gonna lie. Like in terms of entertainment wise, like, if it wasn't for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, like let's be honest, no one would have gave a shit about that fight. That was a club level fight. It was so fucking boring. Like there's been fights more boring than that I've walked out of. So I just want to let that be known, like that because of the name, because of the situation of the fight, people tuned in. But man, was that a shitty fight for real boxing fans. I just want to say that, man. Like if you're a real boxing fan, that shit was a shitty fucking fight. Boring as hell, man. Mike Tyson basically after the second round didn't throw any punches. I mean, what did he land? 17 punches the whole fight? I mean, that's crazy. In an 8-round fight, a legendary Mike Tyson lands 17 punches. Talk about a shell of himself, man. It's sad to even see Mike up to being that much of a shell of himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was sad to see, man. It was sad to see. I'm not even gonna knock Jake Paul because to me, Jake Paul is a genius for what he did. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we got to call Jake Paul a genius for what he did, man. Do I respect him fighting an old geezer Mike? Not necessarily. But at the end of the day, it was smart. Mike didn't back down from it. He gave Mike his biggest payday and who knows how long. So, in a way, you should respect Jake for giving Mike a payday that's going to make him eat for the rest of his life. And Mike didn't get embarrassed either. So, but yeah, after the second round, Mike didn't have any good moments in that fight. It was like a sparring match. The fight was boring as shit. The most boring fight of the night. And I thought that, honestly, Jake let up on Mike. He could have knocked Mike out. He didn't. He didn't end up knocking him out because no one wanted to see him on the floor. I think if Jake would have knocked out Mike, I really think people would have lost respect for Jake. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it was that serious. Like if Jake would have knocked out Mike, I think people would have looked at Jake even worse. I think it's actually better that Jake didn't knock him out. As crazy as that sounds, knocking out a 58-year-old, I feel like people like Andre Ward and people who came to see Mike win, they would have been throwing shots at Jake Paul for knocking out a 60-year-old. So I'm actually happy that Jake didn't knock him out. You know what I'm saying? And didn't embarrass him completely. Because then people would have said, like, what type of time is Jake on? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that fight was fucking pointless, man. I hope that real boxing fans who come on my YouTube channel can say that that fight was pointless. There was no point of it. And it was sad to watch a legend, a Hall of Famer, lose to a YouTuber, man. But at the end of the day, man, that's what happens when Father Time catches up with you. Yo, what up, Fight Fury Films? Make sure y'all hit that like button, all the people in the building. Yo, my bro, Mike Tyson sold out. I'm happy they both made a lot of money. But this could have been an exhibition. They sold it as a real fight. And I know in my heart, Tyson can destroy Jake Paul. All right. So, a couple things to say about that. Me and you both, I'm very happy that Mike and Jake both got a payday. Obviously, especially Mike, Jake being already rich. I don't really care about Jake too much, but Mike getting payday, I'm very happy for him and his family. That being said, man, it should have been an exhibition. I think it actually is going to count towards Mike's record, which is kind of fucked up. But when you think about it, for 20 million, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? He's been retired for fucking what, 25 years. So what's a seventh loss going to do compared to a 6 loss since he hasn't fought in a decade anyway? No one really cares. It's not going to really make much of a difference to his Hall of Fame resume. I will say this, though. I disagree with your last comment about in my heart. I know Tyson can destroy Jake Paul. Yes, if they were both in their primes, I'm not going to lie to you. Jake Paul wouldn't even go one round with Mike Tyson. But at 58 years old, if they ran that fight back 10 times, bro, at this age, Mike would lose all 10 times, bro. And it just is what it is. Father time always wins. And Mike Tyson just showed us that even when your name is Mike Tyson, Father time still wins. So shout out to Mike Tyson for going the whole way, man, and not getting completely, utterly embarrassed. But I'm hoping that Jake Paul fights a guy his age next time, man, because I just don't want to see I promise you, if they have another build up to another 60-year-old legendary fighter fighting Jake Paul, I won't even tune in, man. It's not even worth it because Mike showed little to nothing today. And it was just sad to watch for people who grew up watching the real Mike. You know what I'm saying? For people who are casuals who don't really watch boxing, maybe it wasn't as sad for you. But for me, it was definitely a sad moment. Now, I'm not even a huge Mike fan. Like I told my friend, my friend was like, "Oh, you should be so sad for Mike." Like I am sad for Mike, but not to the point where like I'm not a huge Mike fan. So like I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, "Yeah, man, I'm overly sad about that what happened to Mike." You know, he went out on his shield. You know, he did his thing. Thought the fight was corny. I don't know if you watched. I hear you, but Bozy Ennis is a beast and schools young fighters all the time. I mean, what are you talking about? Bozy Ennis schools fighters all the time. What, in sparring? Like, what do you mean? Like, I haven't seen Bozy Ennis fight a real fight in a long. Like, Bozy Ennis don't fight for real. Like, what, you talking about sparring? What are you talking about, training? I need to know what you're talking about, Fury Films. And can we talk about the co-main event real quick, man? Can we talk about Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, the best fight on the card? I don't even want to talk about the exhibition too much. I'd rather talk about the Katie Taylor an Amanda Serrano fight because once again I got my heart broken, man. They say in boxing as a fan you don't get your heart broken in this sport, man. It is what it is. You brush it off and you move on, bro. But I thought Amanda won the first fight, and she's a sweetheart, man. You could tell she's a real good, genuine person. And just a good soul who works really hard at her craft and as a legend. First ballot Hall of Famer, 7 division champion, 7-time champion. Is she a 7 division champion or a 7-time champion? Either way it goes, she's a fucking legend. And I thought she did enough to win the fight tonight against Katie. And once again, they raised Katie's hands. I don't know if it's because like I don't know what it is about Katie because Katie had some good moments. I'm not gonna lie to you. Katie had some real good moments in that fight. I thought she definitely won maybe 4 or 5 rounds. And obviously, I thought that ref taking a point away from Amanda at the end was disgusting, utterly cheating. But at the end of the day, especially when you know that Katie Taylor was the one that was the main one leading in with her head the whole fight, being the main one who was dirty. It was disturbing. It was disturbing to see the ref take away a point from Amanda Serrano, man. And it's like there was nothing she could do to win the fight, man. She was landing the cleaner combinations when they had exchanges every time. She was always faster. I thought, yeah, obviously, her face was a little bit more messed up, but that's because of the headbutt. I think Amanda was the cleaner fighter overall that night, man. I think she landed more punches. I think Katie had the higher percentage. But at the end of the day, man, Amanda Serrano won that fight, y'all. Y'all know it. I know it. The boxing world knows it, man. And I feel good in my conscience knowing that majority of the boxing world, non-casuals, felt like Amanda won that fight tonight. A couple people, Shakur Stevenson, a couple of my friends thought, Katie won the fight. And you're entitled to, with a fight that great, with a fight that close, you're entitled to your opinion. We got 4 viewers in the fucking building. Hit that fucking like button. Do you hear me? Hit that fucking like button, y'all. But like I said, man, overall, man, I thought it was a great night of boxing. Outside of the main event, man, we could talk about a lot of fights, man. We could talk about the Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano fight and how great of a fight that was. Even the second fight of the evening between Abel Ramos and Mario Barrios. That fight was a full-on war between 2 Mexican warriors, man. That is what boxing is about. And it was a good night of fighting, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? End of the day, it was a very good night of boxing. And I enjoyed it, man. Let's see. The co-main event was great. I felt that Amanda Serrano won both fights very close. If I were to give Serrano advice, I would tell her to slow it down where she can counterpunch Taylor. And I think that's what it is, man. I noticed that. She was winning. I had her up 5-1 going into 6. And then in the second half of the fight, she started fighting on the inside too much. And then when she was fighting on the inside, you feel me? I feel like if she would just be slow down in her mind, she would be able to land them counters a lot cleaner. But since she was kind of rushing her, let me get a Sweetwood. and a pineapple soda. But yeah, I feel like she rushed it a little bit from round 7 to round 10. She was rushing a little bit too much. All right, let me get ginger ale. Can. But yeah, man. I mean, Serrano, man. You know, if she just slows down, stays patient, Katie Taylor leaves herself open for counters all day, man. Look, Amanda won the fight regardless, but she got to learn that if she gonna leave it open for the judges, she got to stop being such an open target. Hell yeah, Mike Tyson lost too easily. That shit wasn't even close, bro. That man, 60 years old. I told motherfuckers, he ain't beat his. Hell no, Jake was running for real, but he won. He did enough to win though. Hell no, he didn't get his ass. Mike didn't get knocked out or nothing. He stayed up the whole fight. But yeah, my bad. I'm at the corner store, y'all. This is real life Philly. You feel me? This is how this shit going. We on YouTube, but real life Philly. How you doing? I heard Serrano got robbed. Is that accurate? Blueprint. Unfortunately, she got robbed for the second time, bro. I can't believe it, man. It's like, what do you have to do to win a fight? You know, Amanda's so good, bro. Like, Amanda's such a people's person. She's such a great fighter. You know, I don't like to get sentimental when it comes to boxing. I don't do that shit, bro. It's boxing. This is a grown man, gangsta ass sport. But I really do have a soft heart for Amanda Serrano, man. She's a good person, a great fighter. And I think she's one of the best female fighters I done witnessed other than Clarissa Shields. And to see her get robbed back to the same female, when I thought it was the same results both times, I mean, yeah, man, I don't want to even see that rematch again, bro. Because if I see that rematch again, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I'm going to it. And I'm going to make sure that I shout out and I scream to the top of my lungs to make sure Amanda doesn't get robbed. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. That was disturbing. I don't even want to talk about the main event. There's nothing really to talk about with the main event. Mike didn't get knocked out. Father Time caught up to him, and you know, just devastated about the Amanda situation. Hate to say it, but I don't think Amanda Serrano got robbed. I mean, hey, echoes. At the end of the day, there are a lot of people who feel as though the fight was super close and that it wasn't a robbery. I mean, you even have boxing savants like Shakur Stevenson saying that Katie Taylor won the fight. So at the end of the day, I want to make this very clear, Blueprint. Was it a robbery? It's hard for me to call a fight that was that close a robbery. But once again, I'm going to say what I said the first fight. Just like I thought Serrano squeezed out the first time, I thought she squeezed out the second time. And that's just pretty much the bottom line to that situation of that fight. At least not this fight. Exactly. Serrano and Clarissa are the two best women in today's boxing. They to all times with Layla Ali. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Those are the top 3 fighters of all time for the women. You got Katie, Amanda, Clarissa, and Layla Ali. Those are the top 4 women fighters of all time. I think it's unanimous. I think Katie got her the last round. Absolutely. I thought Katie won the last round. I'm not going to lie. I thought Amanda definitely lost round 12, but I thought she did good rounds 10 and 11. I'm going to say this again about Amanda, man. She's got to stop letting it be too close for the judges to call. If Amanda can just be patient, slow it down in her mind, and counterpunch beautifully, she can really, really outwork Katie, man. Because Katie somehow was the more accurate puncher. It's hard to believe because when you're watching these exchanges, it always looks like Amanda gets the better of the exchanges. But man, after they showed the copy box, I mean, it was about even, and Katie had the better percentage, man. Shout out to both of those women, though, legendary women, man, and I love Serrano though, and I hate Katie. Yeah, I don't hate Katie, but I'm not a big Katie fan. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been a big Katie fan because she's always fought this way. She's always been a dirty type of fighter, and I am a huge Amanda fan. I must admit. We got 2 viewers in the building. Hit that fucking like button before y'all leave the building. But I gotta call it how I see it. You've always been real, Echoes. That's one thing about you, man. You've always been a real boxing fan. You're not biased, and you keep it real, man. You had no dog in that fight between Amanda and Katie, and you're just calling it how you see it, just like Shakur, man. I obviously am a little biased, so obviously I thought Amanda won. But it's good to get an outlook from a non-biased person. All right, y'all. I did make a video. I am going to edit it, and it will be uploaded by about 3 in the morning Eastern time. Give me about an hour, 2 hours. It will be uploaded tonight. But just wanted to go live for the post fight, give y'all my reaction. I have to go, take care of something with the family. I had to go on live, see what you guys thought, if you guys tuned into the fight. And yeah, man, this is the post fight reaction here on Middleman TV. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We may never see it again. I'm gone. Peace.